Okay, let's talk about success. What does it, really mean? Is it just about money, about getting rich, or is there something deeper, more lasting?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Exactly. And today, we're going deep. We're looking at a really foundational text, something written, wow, over a century ago that tackles exactly this.
That's right. We're diving into Pushing to the Front, a timeless success guide. It's by Orson Swett Marden, and it first came out way back in 1894.
1894, and it's basically a classic in self-help, motivation, personal development.
Absolutely. A cornerstone, really.
So our mission here, for you listening, is to pull out the best bits, the key insights from this old classic. Think of it as a shortcut to its wisdom.
And you might be surprised how relevant it still feels. Seriously, the core ideas, still incredibly powerful today.
Okay, so pushing to the front. It's not just some dusty old book then.
Not at all. It's rooted in something called the New Thought movement from the late 19th century. Have you heard much about that?
A little, but maybe explain it quickly.
Sure. So, New Thought was kind of radical. It basically said, forget fate dictating everything. Your inner world, your thoughts, your character, your beliefs, that's what shapes your reality.
Ah, okay, so it puts the power squarely on the individual.
Exactly. For Martin, success wasn't about luck or where you started. It was about building yourself up from the inside, a huge emphasis on personal agency, which was, well, pretty revolutionary thinking for the time.
And you really feel Marta's own life story in there, don't you? He was orphaned young, had to work his way through school.
You absolutely do. It bleeds through the pages.
How much do you think that struggle shaped his voice? Does it make his advice feel more earned?
Oh, completely. He wasn't writing from some, comfortable armchair. He'd lived the struggle. He'd pushed through obstacles himself.
Right.
So when he encourages readers to overcome things, to not settle, it comes from a place of real lived experience. It gives his words a certain gravity. It's practical, not just theory.
That makes sense. Which leads right into one of his biggest themes,
Mm,
perseverance.
yeah.
Just keep going.
Yep. Grit, determination. He loves telling stories of ordinary people, people starting with nothing, who made it big just through sheer persistent effort.
But is it just don't give up? Or is there more to his idea of perseverance? Is it different from the usual pull yourself up by your bootstraps line?
That's a great point. It's not just about being stubborn. I'd call it maybe intelligent persistence.
Okay, intelligent persistence. What does that mean?
Well, it means you don't just endure pain or failure, you learn from it. You adapt. You keep the faith, sure, but you also adjust your strategy.
Ah, so it's active, not passive endurance.
Precisely. And that connects directly to his idea of self-reliance. It's not about being alone. It's about believing you can actually shape your path and then actively finding the inner strength and the right approaches to do it. Pretty sophisticated for 1894, really.
Yeah, it is. And then there's this other huge piece, maybe the most surprising one compared to, modern success books, his focus on integrity, character.
Absolutely central.
He doesn't just say it's nice to be ethical.
Mm.
He seems to argue it's, like, essential for real success. Humility, doing good. These aren't optional extras for him.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is he sees character almost as a practical asset, not just a moral thing.
How so?
Well, think about it. Integrity builds trust, right? It helps you build real relationships. That creates a foundation for long-term success that just, money can't buy.
So it's about sustainability.
In a way, yes. He wasn't naive. He knew doing the right thing might not pay off instantly in dollars. But for Martin, true success wasn't just the bank balance. It was about building a life, a legacy that lasts. And that needs ethics at its core.
That really is a different message than you often hear today. Powerful stuff.
It is.
And related to that is how he talks about adversity, hardship. He uses tons of examples showing how tough times can actually be
Yeah.
like a catalyst.
Yeah, he goes beyond just saying, be resilient.
Right. What's the specific insight there?
Martin argues that hardship doesn't just test your character. It actually reveals strengths you didn't know you had. It forces you to dig deeper.
Okay.
He talks about the friction of hardship sharpening the mind. It pushes you to find new solutions, to innovate because you have to.
So adversity isn't just something to survive. It's something to, use as fuel.
Exactly. Treat it as a catalyst for, let's say, forced innovation. That's the key idea.
Right.
Makes you wonder what he'd say about all the chaos today, right? Tech changes, global stuff.
Oh, he'd probably see massive opportunity in it all, wouldn't he?
I bet he would.
And the way he writes really makes these ideas pop. It's full of stories, anecdotes, historical figures.
So many examples. Lincoln, Edison, countless others. He weaves them in constantly.
It's not just abstract advice. He shows you how it worked for real people.
Hmm.
He explains the why behind it all.
Right. Each chapter feels like a call to action. Very optimistic, very clear about the moral side of things, too.
That's definitely one of his big strengths. He apparently drew on hundreds of biographies.
Yeah, to basically prove his point. Greatness isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's possible for anyone willing to put in the work, internally and externally.
And again, that moral depth really stands out. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme at all.
Not even close. It's about building your character first. The achievement follows from that.
Okay, but let's be balanced. It is over 100 years old. There must be some quirks, weak spots,
Oh, for sure. No book is perfect, especially one that old.
like the language. Some examples must feel pretty dated now.
Definitely. Some vocabulary, some historical references. You might need to pause and, look things up or just understand the context of 1894 America. It feels of its time in places.
It's long, right? Over 400 pages.
It is quite hefty. And yeah, there's some thematic overlap between chapters. He revisits certain ideas.
So a bit repetitive, maybe. Could it have been shorter?
You could argue that, yeah, maybe condensed a bit.
Okay.
But then again, that sheer volume of examples is part of what makes it persuasive. It kind of hammers the points home.
Good point. What about the overall tone? It sounds very optimistic, very focused on individual effort. Does it maybe gloss over bigger societal issues, structural problems?
That's a fair critique. It is very idealistic and individualistic. It leans heavily on moral virtue and personal power.
Which is inspiring, but...
But it doesn't really engage much with, say, systemic barriers or inequalities that people face. That's just not its focus. It's rooted in that new thought idea of internal state creating external reality, above all else.
Right. You have to see it as a product of its time and its specific philosophy.
Exactly. And actually, that prompts a good question for you, the listener. How much of Martin's advice feels timeless? And how much feels tied specifically to the world of the 1890s? It's worth thinking about.
Okay, so thinking about the listener, who is this deep dive really for? Who would get the most out of Martin?
Well, if you like writers like Napoleon Hill, James Allen, maybe Stephen Covey even, you'll probably find a lot to like here. It's in that same tradition, but older.
The class.
The classics, yeah. And if you're looking for motivation that's grounded in actual stories, not just theories.
Or if you just appreciate those kind of old school values, hard work, honesty, discipline.
Then yes, Pushing to the Front is definitely worth exploring. It's a real journey into these enduring ideas about how to achieve something meaningful.
So wrapping up, Pushing to the Front. It sounds like, despite its age, it's still this, well, fountain of encouragement.
It's a great way to put it, yeah. For anyone wanting to rise above things, build a life with purpose, with integrity.
Achieve something real.
Exactly. The core message, the heart of the book, it really does still beat strong today. It makes you stop and think about what success really is.
It does. So a final thought for you to take away from this deep dive. What if you consciously lean into Martin's big ideas, focusing on your inner character, on self-reliance, on unwavering integrity? How might that shift how you face challenges, how you see opportunities in our, let's face it, pretty complex world today?
Maybe those old school virtues aren't just quaint. Maybe, just maybe, they're the ultimate shortcut to a success that actually lasts, something to chew on.